Hey, the book I read is called In Camps of Orange. It's a tale of hunting stories and diaries and journal entries from the Pearly Swamp Camp and various other camps in Wisconsin, and some were even right in Chippewa County, which I thought was kind of cool. The focus of this is on the value of deer hunting, how it's changed in Wisconsin, and how the future will be, and a little bit of inspiration at the end. So the original value of deer hunting in Wisconsin dates back to the Native Americans. They hunted for food. They would often leave their camp for just a day, go out and harvest an animal, bring it back. There would be a good sense of pride there. They'd be able to feed their family, and they'd be able to take the skin and the fur and use that to stay warm in the winter. Sometime in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when times where cities were popping up around the state, there was a shift in value from the meat itself to basically having friends, people, and camaraderie while you were hunting. This kind of originated when people began to not hunt in their home. They began to go camp, build a little deer camp out in the woods and hunt there with relatives, family, friends, anything like that. So basically, why a deer camp? What a deer camp? A deer camp, like I said before, to get away from where they live. A lot of people that live in cities aren't able to hunt right where they live. What is a deer camp? A deer camp is pretty simple. It's either a basic wood frame shack house thing, which kind of sounds weird, trailer houses, campers, tents. My deer camp is 2 trailer houses I put together. It's rough, but looks kind of crappy, but it does the job, keeps the rain off, gives us a good place to cook our meals and hang out and have some good fun, talk with all of our family, catch up with people we know and love, things like that. Another big thing about deer camp, which is kind of strange, is it gives you a second family too. I wouldn't really consider them blood family, but I do definitely love the people I hunt with, and I'm only related to about half of them. So it's kind of cool. I have a second family from that. And like I said, the value is not really in hunting. It's not in shooting the deer itself. It's still a great reward to be able to harvest a deer and bring it home to my family, but that's not what I hunt for. Big thing about Wisconsin too is we have this thing called conservation here. For over a century, Wisconsin's been a big center for deer and other animal conservation, forestry conservation, water conservation, you name it. Wisconsin's been there and done it. A lot of other states will look here, a lot of other places will look here to see what's done. A lot of that is through work of some of the biggest figures in conservation, such as Aldo Leopold, people like that who've lived here, done conservation here, know this place, and want to be able to see the next generations enjoy the things we do. That was a big thing that was brought up in my book. And some of the chapters is some of the elders were saying, it's kind of bad that right now we're at a low deer population and they might be, not in danger of being wiped out, but if we have a couple of serious winters in a row, we might not have deer here, And the other people said, yeah, we should see about that. And sure enough, the next year the rules changed and the regulations all changed, and they had to change how they hunted. They didn't mind though, because they wanted to see deer around for the future generations to enjoy. And that's the big thing about history, is it is what you make it. So we want to make sure, they wanted to make sure that they left behind a legacy that would live into the future. Kind of ending with that, I have a couple quotes here I want to read. One of them came directly from my book. It was from an anonymous source, so I'm just going to straight from the book. It goes, "The most important part of deer hunting does not come from harvesting a deer. It must be seeked out and found in a different place. This place is not easily found. No one can tell you where to find it." Basically, I kind of get that back from the shift in value that's happened in Wisconsin. Like I said, it's not the deer that you bring home that's special. It's the time that you spend with everybody else all the time in between, during meals, after the hunt's over for the day, things like that. So that's kind of cool that I was able to connect with that. The next one is from Gaylord Nelson. "The ultimate test of a man's conscience is his willingness to sacrifice something today for generations tomorrow, whose words of thanks will not be heard." So that kind of brings us back to the conservation-minded set of the things in Wisconsin here. You got to leave behind a legacy for the next generation, and I hope to do that in my work in the future here. So with that, I will take questions in class.